Good evening, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. It is still Christmas Eve, December 24, 2024. And this is an interesting video. I really didn't know anything about this, but an individual contacted me on Quora privately. I guess it was in response to something I posted, but rather than respond to the post, they responded to me privately. And I'm going to read a little bit about what this individual said. And of course, after, I saw the private message, he responded again. And then, of course, I checked out his profile to see what he's talking about, that it's just not somebody who's stalking me. But nevertheless, it's interesting, and I'd never heard of it before. So anyway, hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. And Merry Early Christmas to everybody. I posted a little card for you guys in the not the comment section, the community section on my main page. And that is my cat Comet. She was deliberately given throat cancer. Yeah, she was perfectly healthy. Like, she had actually had a vet appointment like maybe a month before. Perfect health, young cat. And then these criminals ended up radiating her, and she got very, very sick, and she ended up dying. Like a lot of my other cats and yours. But anyway, I'm powerful, you are powerful, and we are powerful together. And we have to stand together in this fight, and it is a fight against these criminals, these perpetrators. But who are these perpetrators? And each year that goes by, I'm learning more and more about the program, the octopus that it is, so many people involved. But the underlying concept, the underlying issue is the watch list. Who maintains that list? Nobody investigates the list. But who's actually involved? Okay, so I'm going to just show you. So, who's targeted? Well, anybody can be targeted. People are targeted for their neuro rights, men, women, single women living alone, newly divorced women, animals, land, your kids, pets, anything that they could profit off of. And of course, if it's for revenge, they could just do it for any damn reason, right? Now, generally, in this lifetime, there's due process when somebody commits a crime against somebody else, but not when it's law enforcement. That's always a big cover-up. Big cover-up, okay? You get the county neighborhood organized crime, and that's basically what it is. It's organized crime. It is mobbing. Mobbing, the difference between bullying and mobbing is bullying is usually one individual or a group of individuals against one person. It's mobbing when a person in a position of authority, like a sheriff, chief of police, does nothing and is complicit. Knows about it, does nothing, is complicit, and maybe even participates, okay? It's considered to be mobbing. It's against the law. And it involves corrupt cops, fake incidents reports, and citizen informants that we call the perpies. The perpy derpy DBs. What we call them here, what I call them, cops, criminals on patrol, lops, losers on patrol, mops, morons on patrol, pops, predators, perverts, pedos on patrol, and wops, witches on patrol. There's a lot of witchcraft involved in this. Basically what it is, it's a revenge for hire program. I don't care what anybody says. It has to do with the sorry-ass egos of someone, a narcissist usually. And the narcissist knows somebody who's an FBI person in a position of authority or whatever. and they'll just nominate you. They don't care about your life. They just care about their sorry egos and that they were insulted. Somebody insulted them. Somebody didn't want to date them. Somebody showed them up in court. It doesn't matter, whatever it is, right? And especially if you're a woman. It's one thing if you're a man and you're arguing and speaking your ground against a narcissist. But when you're a woman and it's a guy, it's a whole different ballgame. And for all the women out there who are married to cops who've contacted me, you know, they're vigilantes, vendetta, vindictive. They use the letter V. They'll etch the letter V. So you know it's a revenge for hire. They're vigilante, vendetta, vindictive. But hey, it's a big secret. Shh. So who are we going to talk about? My favorite bureau. Instigation. I still have a hard time saying investigation when I see them. It's because that's what they do. They're not investigating anything. That's their pretense, you know. The pretense, oh, it's under investigation. We're performing an investigation. Yeah, that's endless, right? It's sort of like right here in Kentucky, the sheriff is performing an investigation against my neighbors throwing dead animals and garbage on my property that I have videos of. Evidence. Cease and desist letters. But they just need to arrest these losers. But no, they're under investigation. They're performing an investigation. They're not under investigation. They're just performing an investigation that'll be unending and I'll never get the results. And you know how you know? When you ask, who is the investigating officer or deputy? When did they start the investigation? When will it end? Who are they interviewing? Since I'm the one that filed the complaint, I'm the one that's entitled to know the information. Why isn't anybody talking to me for additional information, right? So, this is the message that I received on Quora. I won't tell you who the person is. And then I'll read a little bit about what this individual wrote also. And also I asked ChatGPT about what this loop is, L-O-O-P, because I didn't know. I don't know. And even this person writing to me, I'm not understanding all of what they're saying, okay? So perhaps when I speak about these things that I'm not sure of, you can chime in, and if you're familiar with it, please leave a comment. This is the first message I received. FBI has tradecraft rules. Watch who you're talking to. They could be an FBI informant. Know how to play stupid. Well, I'll have to tell you that my mother taught me how to play stupid. Can't do something if you say something. All come at you the same way. Probing reactions set up with a wrong one. There's an awkward hold it in for 10 seconds. It's an all team. It's chess. All played out. FBI surveillance slanders you wherever you go. 10 steps ahead of you. They tell everyone what to say and do. They put on a show for those that don't know. Additionally, CIA gets inside. Now, this is what I don't understand, okay? OODA Loop of mind control subjects. And observe and study it. And they play with it. Watch what you say and how you OODA. So I asked ChatGPT, what is an OODA loop, okay? The OODA loop is a decision-making framework developed by the U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd. It stands for observe, O, gather data from the environment. This involves identifying what is happening, recognizing threats or opportunities, and collecting all relevant information. And here comes the other O, is orient. So it's observe, orient. Analyze the observations in the context of your situation, prior knowledge, and mental models. This phase is also includes adjusting your perspective based on new information. D. Decide the best course of action based on the orientation phase. Act. Execute the decision, then cycle back to the observe phase to assess the outcome and adapt as necessary. That is the OODA Loop. It is a decision-making framework developed by the U.S. Air Force. So I asked, well, how do you, why would you use this? The OODA Loop is versatile and has applications in various domains. One, it's a military strategy. Originally designed for aerial combat, the OODA Loop helps military personnel respond rapidly to changing battlefield conditions by outpacing an opponent's decision-making cycle. And forces can gain a tactical advantage. In my mind, I'm thinking, so this is an aerial combat. It could be a drone, right? Drone. Outpacing an opponent's decision-making cycle. So they're monitoring your decision-making from above. They're watching from above, a drone, an aircraft. And they're going to be a couple of steps ahead of you because they're monitoring your thoughts, right? So aerially, they're monitoring you, and they could also be targeting you from above. Number 2, the business and competitive strategy. Companies use the OODA Loop to stay ahead of competitors by reacting faster to market changes, customer needs, and technological advancements. For example, businesses might use the loop to innovate and adapt in rapidly changing industries. Number 3, crisis management. In emergency situations such as natural disasters or cybersecurity breaches, the OODA Loop helps leaders make swift, informed decisions under pressure. Number 4, sports and performance. Athletes and teams use the OODA Loop to adapt to opponents' strategies during a game or match, making split-second decisions based on their observations and understanding of the game. Number 5, negotiations. Observing the other party's actions and adjusting strategies in real time can give a significant advantage. This, I believe, affects all targeted people. The negotiations. Observing the other party's actions and adjusting strategies in real time can give a significant advantage. Number 6, personal development. Individuals can use the OODA Loop for problem solving, self-improvement, or managing interpersonal conflicts by constantly learning and adapting. By cycling through these 4 steps quickly and effectively, individuals and organizations can operate inside the opponent's decision-making process, gaining a significant advantage in dynamic and competitive environments. That's how they're looking at us. It's like a game, okay? And this is what else the individual said to me. Okay, let me just pull it up here. Okay, so I'm going to read again what he said in lieu of what I just read ChatGPT said. The FBI has a tradecraft rules. Watch what you're talking to. And I'm sorry, watch who you're talking to. They could be an FBI informant. For all I know, I've got FBI informants in my comments section. How would I know? Know how to play stupid. Can't do something if you say something. And this is weird wording here, okay? All come at you the same way. Probing reactions set up with a wrong one. Awkward hold it in for 10 seconds. So I guess you would count to 10, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All team chess. It's all planned out. The FBI surveillance slanders you wherever you go. They're 10 steps ahead of you and tell everyone what to say and do. They put on a show for those who don't know. Additionally, the CIA gets inside the OODA loop of mind control subjects. And they observe and study it, and they play with it. They watch what you say and how you OODA. Additionally, the CIA and FBI have everything planned out like chess. And only they know how it's set up. But they use the OODA loop by talking to you, interrogating, figuring out how you think and make decisions, and tell everyone what you do and say. I mean, this sounds a little perverted, doesn't it? I just have to interject here. My favorite Bureau of Instigation. Why can't you mind your own damn business? Why do you have to watch everybody? I mean, that's very perverted. It's very sick. I mean, instead of harassing regular people, there's like real crime out there. There are children missing. There are people on the street that are homeless, veterans. I guess the American people just don't know what the hell you're doing. You're playing a game of chess with people's lives? What the hell? So now this person goes on to say, and this is a little confusing to me, so please tell me if you understand what they're saying. The number one rule is STFU. I have no idea what that means. And they'll start talking. And then you get into their OODA loop. The feds subtly own people because they're professionals and master manipulators. But they make you think that you are, and they groom and abuse you. I mean, this is very sick. Terrorism and gang stalking go together. Everything is planned out like chess, using tradecraft, hypergame theory, Stasi techniques, and mobbing causing. And now I have a block on this. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying here. Causing S/MS. Please leave a comment down below if you know what that stands for. Targeted individuals are just a movie /MS. Gang stalkers are FBI informants and sacrificial pawns. Nothing. But they think that they're secret agents. Well, we all know that, right? We all know that they're the sheeple disposables, the pawns. And I'll just repeat what this guy says. Targeted individuals are just a movie /MS. Gang stalkers are FBI informants and sacrificial pawns. They're nothing, but they think that they're secret agents. Well, I told you, like, the FBI is very smart, though, you know? Very smart in that they, they know how to get these people to participate. And from what I've been told, I think it might have been Karen Stewart, that the FBI is so smart that they give these people fake badges, they make them feel important. Basically what they do is they appeal to their egos to make them feel important. They give them these titles like informant. Oh, they're working for the FBI. Oh, they're working for the sheriff's department. Right? They're human resource, what was it? Human source, whatever. Basically, they're rat snitches. They're not ambassadors. They're not diplomats. They're not special. They can call them informants. They're rat snitches. They're little snitches. And I don't know, back in the day, the mafia would get rid of snitches. They had no place for little snitchies like that. So anyway, I went to this person's profile. I wanted to see what else this individual is writing about, right? So he goes on to say, and he was answering questions. What are some ways to detect and prevent a gang stalking operation? Are you ready for this, guys? Don't get on the watch list to begin with. All right, well, we all know how you can and can't get on a watch list. Anybody can get on a list for anything, right? Another question. What is the term for a group of stalkers? Gang stalking and targeted individuals are CIA terms. Call it whatever you want. All lawsuits against the CIA and FBI are frivolous. Now, I'm not sure what that means. They're not frivolous. I don't consider them. This is nothing frivolous about these lawsuits. But it could be that he's saying that anybody that files a lawsuit against them, they'll come back and call the lawsuit frivolous and dismiss it. Is gang stalking a real phenomenon? If so, what are some of the ways to identify individuals who participate in it? And this person is very succinct, like one-liners, right? LE, law enforcement, talks about you everywhere and gang stalks you with your community. Very simple. Law enforcement talks about you everywhere and gang stalks you within your community. Well, I have to tell you, when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. How could people be talking about me when I knew nobody here? I had just moved here, but they were all talking about me anyway, making up stuff. And as I said before, I had horses on my property, living here free of charge. Yeah. They belonged to the now Sheriff Daniel Isaacs. At the time, he was a deputy. Yep. I have no idea how long those horses were on my property. But I guarantee they were there at least 30 days, if not a year, for the amount of damage they did to the property. Question. What are some effective ways for a target to defend against electronic harassment? His response is, electronic harassment warfare can be countered, in my opinion, by wearing a baseball hat. It can't be identified from satellites and having your phone turned off. Cold showers help you deal with the effects. Another question. What are some indicators that a targeted individual is being subjected to gang stalking and harassment programs? Response. The program of disruption, COINTELPRO, spreads false narratives about you everywhere, and they gaslight you together. Who gets picked as a targeted individual? It's the FBI disruption protocol to retaliate. Retaliation is another word for revenge, vendetta, vindictive, right? So they're acting on behalf of somebody that you pissed off, who's jealous of you, angry of, that you weren't interested in. Maybe you were better at something than them. It doesn't matter. The fact that this program exists with our tax dollars is very alarming. Why does it seem like most targeted individuals are Christians? His response? Targeted for telling the truth. What are modern examples of witch hunts? Well, the FBI has done witch hunts slandering people without evidence since 1940. And with COINTELPRO, it continues, but now they call it disruption. They add you to the watch list to retaliate and deal with you without due process. Isn't that nice? I don't know anybody that works at the FBI. I don't even think I knew anybody that worked at the FBI. Well, maybe. It's possible. Like that woman, that bitchette Maria, who allegedly has a cat rescue that I can't find on the IRS website ever. You know, the one who stole my cats, killed them, who started placing them for sale on Adopt-A-Pet. Yeah. Yeah, she's married to a cop. Maybe they know somebody at the FBI. Another question is, why would somebody be targeted as an individual? Well, it refers to subjects of mobbing, gang stalking, or deposition matrix. That's new to me. I'm first time hearing about this, a deposition matrix. The CIA FBI harassment suggests MK Ultra, COINTELPRO. New names. Fusion centers coordinate satellite hacking, stalking capability, now called gang-stalking electronic harassment. Question: what is stalking? Answer: watching, following, unwanted harassment, stalking, harassment go together, as do hostility, harassment. It's a smear campaign. But the FBI police call it investigating. Isn't that nice? How they can subvert the English language. The smear campaign. But the FBI police call it investigating. Somebody needs to investigate them. A COINTELPRO dirty trick is to slander you, to create hostile environments. But wasn't nearly as bad. They're actually organizing mobbing and gang stalking. So why are targeted individuals treated so badly? He responds. Because, quote, the cops are out to get you and turn everyone against you and tell them terrible things about you and all hate you, and they're just doing what the cops say, getting back at you, gaslighting you all together. And now you're just a show. Really? Really? Well, let's all expose their show. Because they are the criminals with badges. Violation of their oath of office. Right? They protect criminals. They induce and instigate crime. Instigate crime. So what we do to counter the slander campaign is by speaking the truth. Right? So when neighbors come by and you videotape them in the act of doing what they do best, you post it online with their name. Right? With their name. We write letters, and thank you, I won't say the person's name, who wrote a letter on behalf of what's happening here, on behalf of the community, and sent it to my local newspaper that did not publish it, and sent it to the sheriff. No response. But what I did, in case you're listening, is I cut and pasted that letter, and I stuck it on Facebook. I did. Who are the gang stalkers? Well, they're the fusion centers. Now, again, I don't know what this is. JTTF partners. Citizen Corp includes first responders, neighborhood watch on the neighborhood witch hunt. Which is why I got my neighbors on Neighborhood Wars on A&E, April 11, 2023. You want to be on the watch? You're going to be on Neighborhood Wars. I'm telling you, effers, you mess with the wrong person. Because whatever you do to me is going to come back to you times 10. You slander me, you lie to me, I'm going to speak the truth. Just tell the truth. If you don't like it, too bad. Another question. In the concept of gang stalking, is it real? Does it involve being stalked by groups of people who work for the government or other organizations? Response. The Fusion Center Orwellian nightmare is real, and they have thousands of people tracking you and blends with people, not on the app that blend with people, not on the app, a schizophrenic show. They have no loyalty to the Constitution. Terrorism and corruption go together. CIA, FBI, so do truth and justice. I don't know, that reminds me of Superman. Truth, justice, and the American way. And you remember how Superman, okay, this is my age is showing, how Superman was able to protect himself from attacks? What did he use? Lead. Lead. That's why they took it out of paint. Lead, lead, lead. Like lead-based paints. And what do? When you go to the dentist office and they take x-rays of your teeth, what do they place over your body? A lead apron. Yes. How can targeted individuals protect themselves from gang stalking and harassment? What are the most common tactics used in gang stalking? And where do targeted individuals find support and community? Well, that's 3 questions here that he is responding to. I'll read his response. It's like playing chess, waiting for mistakes. If you know someone's rules, you can predict what they'll do and be a step ahead. They stress you out so that you have a mental breakdown. You have to use managed aggression. Be careful to not make mistakes. Be prepared for anything. Because of Murphy's Law, double check everything. Keep it simple. How CIA does covert operations such as COINTELPRO, MK Ultra. Also use a code name, misdirection, and put out disinformation for useful idiots. So, now I don't know if I can say this. I'm not sure. I'm actually not going to read this because he wrote here the CIA's major accomplishments and how they kind of unalived a bunch of people like John Lennon and Martin Luther King, JFK. Yeah. Flooding inner cities with drug psyops on the people. You know, like those drones in New Jersey. Everybody thinks that they're like aliens. Come on, guys. Does anybody think that those are aliens? Please tell me you don't believe the New Jersey drones are aliens. Please tell me. Okay, so another question he answers is, how did someone become a gang stalker? They're all secretly talking law enforcement behind your back. How long is the targeted individual gang stalked? Does the gang stalking ever stop? He says, they target you for life and it is global. Yes. So what are some examples of American cults that are still active today? Which cults have been disbanded or dismantled? I can't believe this guy. Freemasons are one of the oldest cults, and they use Stasi techniques, tactics, gang stalking with law enforcement. Masonic slow dagger revenge, and FBI does COINTELPRO. They both mean disruption. The FBI has disruption protocol. It's called the FBI JTTF. They also gang stalk people to retaliate. Told you it's revenge. Revenge for hire. What are the underlying reasons that people stalk other people? And his one sentence response is, they're out to get you. What's it like being stalked or having a stalker? Response, 24/7 electronic harassment. Nightly sleep deprivation causes mental breakdowns. And that's what they do. Like, I find that when I'm sleeping, like, I don't get a lot of sleep, but I'm always like a good sleeper. Like, I'll fall right to sleep. Like, it doesn't take me a long time to fall asleep, like, ever. But I'm in the past, I don't really need more than 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I mean, now I'm not getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep, so that's not good. But I'm finding that even in the sleep that I do have, that they're doing something so that my sleep is interrupted. I think that they're, along with the tinnitus, they're doing something because I will wake up and my face is all tense. So that means that something is happening while I'm asleep. They're doing something to me in the sleep state. They're definitely targeting my third eye, my pineal glands, because I just took a photo of my forehead and I blew it up, and I have got dots. Like the skin around there is a different color. You can't see it like visually, but when you take a photo of it in the light and then you blow it up, just expands it, you could see where they're hitting me. They're probably doing that at night. Excuse me, my throat's really dry. Last question. What can a targeted individual do when trapped in a cycle of surveillance, harassment, and mistrust? His response is, answer. They're all tracking you together and drive past you and stage ahead of you everywhere, slandering you behind your back, organizing the mobbing and peer pressuring you. And they stage incidents. It is best to be polite. It's harder for people to sabotage you when you're polite. It's corrupt law enforcement, and they've got dirty tricks that they do to get you fired, break your car, set you up with the wrong one. They threaten you, threaten course that will actually be the one to keep it real for you. They're being fed lies by the FBI and partners in crime, stalking and harassing you everywhere to retaliate and get back at you. So even like the sheriff, even those the local sheriff, they're being lied to. Right? So it's like a trickle down of lies that starts at the top with an intelligence agency. So they're spreading lies like the fusion centers, FBI, or whoever is, into the law enforcement. Right? And they believe the lies. Well, even if they don't believe the lies, they're still spreading them, right? They're getting paid. Law enforcement enforces the rules in order to do what they have to probe beyond a reasonable doubt. And that, one, is visible, two, have something on you if searched, and then false narratives, false arrests. So that's the end of the Q&A. That's, we're going to go back to the beginning, that I received several comments in my inbox, private comments in Quora. And it had to do with the OODA Loop, which is a decision-making framework developed by the U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd. It stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. OODA. Observe, Orient, Decide, Act. So anyway, I look so forward to your questions and comments down below. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. I'm signing up. Believe it or not, we went from December 24th, Christmas Eve, and now it is Christmas Day. Just a little bit after midnight. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. All of you lovely people out there. Blessings to you and your family. And let's stay strong in the coming year, because we are stronger together. And the thing is, for years I stayed quiet. I had no idea what was going on, but it still was pretty bad. And it was getting worse and worse. They want you to act out. It's not, violence is not inherent in my nature. It's not. And they could do whatever damn they do. They're all getting exposed. And more people are coming out creating YouTubes, talking about it. Even people who are not targeted are talking about it. So this is good news for everybody. We're being believed. People are not just shaking their heads and calling us tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists anymore. They believe it. They've seen it. They've seen it. And we're so fortunate that we've got FBI whistleblowers like Stephen Friend and Mr. Boyle and Kyle Seraphin. The suspendables. They were suspended from the FBI. Why would anybody do something like that? And now here in Kentucky, we have a new attorney general. He looks like a nice guy. He left the FBI. Like, damn, like, people are leaving them in droves. I can't imagine why. Leave a comment down below. Why would anybody leave the FBI? Why? I'm going to sign off for now on that question.